closer to me a while ago when I recovered, but okay.
Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
Glad you're joining us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff. Today is July 10th. And yeah, a year ago, we were together celebrating my youngest brother's wedding.
I can't believe it's been a year.
I know, this year's gone by actually really fast.
You'll love this. I was talking to them on the phone. I said, oh, happy anniversary. They're having a day. They're going all over Indianapolis area doing fun things. And so I called him and I said, gosh, just a year ago today, we were just running around. He goes, yeah. And Sarah was forgetting the rings at Carrie's house. And I thought, I kind of had forgotten about that. He goes,
yeah,
well, Ashley hasn't. So, not that she was mad, but it's one of those stories.
Well, we were like all standing around trying to figure out where we were going to do pictures and
super stressful. So,
yeah, pre-wedding did not go very smooth that day. It was probably the most unsmooth one of all of us the day of.
I think, yeah, part of it was just that she really wanted waterfront pictures. Mm-hmm. And you can't go to a waterfront park anywhere in this area in July without having 5 million of your BFFs there with you. There's just nowhere to go. And I think you can go just you in one vehicle. You can't even find parking.
But you can't consistently expect that everybody is going to be able to be there.
No, but you know what? We drove down there the other day. So this park on this lake, popular lake, woohoo, sun came out. We were coming home. It was last Friday, and from my dad's house in North Seattle. We were coming the back way home, and we thought, hey, let's go over to Jean Coulon Park. And at the one end of this beach area, there's an Ivar's Fish House. And they've got like patio seating and it's nice, it's on the water. And we thought, let's try it. But we know now, after living here for so long, never ever get your hopes up about anything on the water. So we pull in and there is not a parking spot to be found. And there are lines of people waiting for any spot. And it's like, get out of here. We're just done. Let's just go somewhere else. I'm not going to wait in line in a parking lot for an hour for a spot for a piece of fish.
Yeah.
And that's just the way it is. It's just not fun to go anywhere here anymore because you're fighting the crowds. And yes, we could have done it but I remember even when you guys were little, we would take our kids.
We'd have to go early to get a spot.
We would have to go super early to get a spot. And we would just camp out for the day. But if you didn't get there early, forget it. You were lugging your stuff 5 miles down the road.
Yeah.
And so that's what happened. We had multiple cars trying to find a place to park and there just wasn't any parking. And we should have probably taken her down there earlier in the month on a Saturday afternoon and just on a sunny day and just show her what it's going to be like. Because I don't think they had ever really been down there. And young love and brides have what they want. And they got, and here's the beautiful thing about it.
We're pretty.
They got their together pictures and they did their first look down there, which was what was probably the most important. And all the family pictures we took up because they had a backyard wedding at our friend's backyard. And bless their heart, they were getting married in COVID times. So everything was just nothing was easy. Nothing was easy about getting married last year. Even buying a wedding dress was it's unfortunate, but they stuck through it. And she was actually very chill. I was really happy. I don't know how many meds she was on, but she was pretty chill that day. She kind of just rolled with it. And
it was really beautiful.
It was beautiful. Together. And I'm just happy they didn't have to postpone their wedding for 3 years like a lot of people did. They were willing to pivot. We pivoted on their plans. And at the end of the day, you're married.
They were married and it was a beautiful day with lots and lots of happy memories. And
it was. And they had her honeymoon in Mexico. A year later, I'm sure she's looking at it going, I have beautiful pictures and beautiful memories.
In 15 years, she's probably gonna I think about our wedding day and I'm like, there's a lot of things I'd probably do differently now, and that's okay. Like it doesn't matter because the wedding was beautiful and we loved it. And
so they're having a beautiful day in Indiana today. They're going all over some of their favorite spots. I think they went somewhere early morning and got breakfast and had mimosas, and then they went to somewhere else, and then they went down to Peace not the word, Peace something winery, which is where she works part-time. And I think they had a glass of wine. And then in that area is this real kind of renovated urban area that used to be the Coca-Cola bottling plant. So part of that area is this really cool hotel that's still got retro Coca-Cola, like it was like their executive offices and stuff are there. But then there's also little businesses. And so there's like something called pin bowling, which is like a shortened bowling alley. It's totally different. You don't, anyway, you have to look it up, but they have like a pin bowling alley there with, a restaurant, but next door to one of those spots is a candle pouring place. So they went and did they were making candles. Sam loves, in case you're wondering, my son loves candles, loves them, probably more than she does. So anyway, they're just having a nice day. And I'm glad that they were able to have a day off because they both are working 2 jobs and going to school. So their schedules are pretty crazy. So anyway, a year ago, and it is actually a pretty nice day here today, probably just about the same kind of weather.
Yeah, it was nice.
Probably the same.
Warm, but it was beautiful. No rain.
Yeah.
And
anyway.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other news we were going to share, because we can finally share it. I kind of leaked it the other day that we were expecting another grandbaby.
Yeah.
And
not me.
Not Sarah.
My brother and his wife are having another baby.
Baby Penny is going to be a big sister.
And it's finally a boy. So 5 girls and we're getting a boy in the family.
I can't believe it.
He's so fun. I'm excited.
Penny is a COVID baby. So she was born in 2020. So she'll be just a little over 2 when baby boy arrives. So we are just like shocked that it's a boy.
Yeah. It's been a girl. So
I really thought it was going to be another girl.
Well, why not?
Kind of I did. Kind of me thought maybe it was going to be a boy, only because some of her pregnancy symptoms were totally different than with Penny. And with me, my boy pregnancies were very different from my pregnancy with Sarah. And, it's hard to know if it was just a first pregnancy versus 3 more after, but I always felt like the boys were definitely different than you. So I kind of thought maybe she was having a boy, but I was kind of bracing myself for another girl, which is fine.
Gosh, another girl, bracing
myself. I love, after having 3 boys, it's been actually really fun to have all these girls in our family again.
I know. It is.
I love my boys, but they're crazy.
Girls are fun too.
Crazy sometimes.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, that's our exciting news.
I know, we're excited about that. It will be so special. We love babies. And we took the girls kayaking for the first time yesterday. So I hadn't really talked about this, but we've been slowly accumulating kayaks over the last year, really. And we had 3 singles. And so we've been waiting to kind of have a little bit of money to be able to buy a double. So Jesse did buy a double, and it arrived last week. And we were supposed to be camping this weekend, but some other things happened animal-wise that we decided to put it off 1 more week. And we're going to hopefully camp next weekend, but we decided to take the girls out kayaking anyways and break in the kayaks. And it was super fun. So we went up to, it's up in the Cascades near White Pass, and there's a lake up there, and it's a pretty quiet lake. It's mostly fishing and just kayak. Like, it's just not a big motorboat. Lake. There's another lake really nearby that's much bigger that most of the motorboats go on. And so it was very quiet, and we kayaked all around the perimeter and had lunch on a little island in the middle, which was really fun. We had packed
fun.
It was really fun. So we're a little sunburned, but even with all the sunscreen, we still got a little sunburned, but it was so fun. Nobody fell in, and Rosie and like all of them were kayaking in their own. Even Rosie got in one of the singles. So we started her off in the double with Jesse. I was like, why don't you take Rosie and I'll do a single and I can help the other 2. Well, Millie was so scared, like so nervous to go. Anytime she does something new, she gets really wigged out, and she was just kind of a mess and scared before we went. I told her, you're going to feel silly later because you're going to love it so much. And sure enough, literally, like, she got into the kayak and she was just took to it immediately and just like paddling around. And of course she was like having a blast. And he was too. So, and then we switched later and let one of the other girls go in the double. And I was kind of like, how's Rosie going to do? Like, she's 9, so she can do it. Lots of kids do. She was great. She was great. She just kept up with us, and she just looked so little in there, but she paddled, and yeah.
I kayaked a couple of times when I was in high school. I think I was maybe junior high, and it was maybe I was even younger because I feel like I was in Campfire Girls, and were working on a badge, and we were able to go up to Lake Washington, way up north in the Bothell area, and there was like a place you could go and they would rent you out kayaks and canoes. I think we went in a canoe first. That was a disaster.
Canoes are harder, I think.
Hated it. Yeah. And Lake Washington's huge and there's a lot of waves and stuff.
Yeah.
But then eventually we got to get into kayaks by ourselves. And I did really like it. I would love to do it now, but getting in and out of a kayak right now would be really, really hard.
It would be tricky. If somebody held it for you, held it steady and then got you into the water more, like you maybe if you were letting your feet get wet as if you had like shorts on or it just would be hard to get in and out of. Tricky. Yeah. Getting in and out is tricky for me because like if I don't have somebody holding the kayak, it starts to go and I'm like over here, my legs over here. So it takes a little bit of extra motor planning, and I think the more we do it, the better I'll get at getting in and out. But I feel like if I'm just all in the water, it's so fun. I love to kayak, and it was really like we got everybody in the water and we started paddling out. And I just looked over and all of them were in kayaks, and I just thought, this is a dream come true. We wanted this for a long time. I took a sailing class in college and loved it. I learned how to sail on one of those little tiny, I don't even know what they're called anymore, just a little 1-person sailboat. And maybe 2 people can go on it, but it's just tiny. And I loved it. I just love the water and I love boating, but we're not going to have a sailboat here. We live in the desert. We'd have to but kayaks
are so expensive. I know boats are super expensive to keep up.
And they're just not realistic for our life. Like if we lived over on that side of the mountains and we had some expendable income, we would maybe think about it, but it wouldn't be worth it. This though was easy and fun and we can take it.
Yeah.
Hey, you've got a timer going. Can you please stop it now? That's a timer for the end of screen time for somebody. So anyways, it was a really fun day. And I was glad because it was just like, oh, dream come true. We've been wanting this for a long time. Fun. So did you just have your lunches in a kayak
we
had them in Ziploc bags in the backpack, and the kayaks have nice compartments. So not necessarily waterproof, although some of them are a little bit more watertight than the others. And then also I had a backpack that was able to get wet. We had books and stuff. Everything was in Ziplocs and waterproof. So it was really fun. It was a real workout too. I'm tired.
Yeah, it is a workout. The muscles get used for other things.
Yeah. So let's do, you said you have some finishes. Girls.
I do. Okay.
We're going to be ready for you in just a minute.
I told Sarah, these are kind of cheater finishes, but I would start with this one. This one, actually, the frame just fell apart. This is charming.
Oh, geez. Oh, no, sad. But you're just going to hang it? Here.
Yeah, well, no, I'm actually not going to keep it in this frame. So this is that piece that I did a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
Which who knew back then I loved calendar pieces. So all that I had left to do on this was 9 stitches here and 9 stitches here. And the thread was still hanging.
It's not showing, but there.
I had this and this to go. That was it. And this thread was on the back. So I did it.
Just had to
but if you're new here, this piece had been lost and had gotten wet. And so I've got mildew here and mildew here. And so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out these, and it will fit in a 5x7. And I think then this won't show.
Oh.
So I'm going to reframe it. So I had tried to frame some things a while ago, but my sticky board was the crappy Joann stuff. And I will never buy that again. And so I finally got around to ordering the good stuff. So this got framed, but unfortunately not going to stay in this. But I do love this piece. It's so cute.
It is cute.
I know it just cracks me up that I have no real memory of stitching this. Just maybe a dim memory. Okay. Then the other thing that I finally got officially framed myself, and this was tricky to frame, is my Things of Winter.
Oh.
Things of Fall. It was tricky because when you get it on the sticky board, it pulls. And so trying to make sure everything is not cattywampus. Sorry about the glare. I kept this under glass. I don't know why.
Yeah.
My winter one is on glass, and I was just going to see if I liked it on my shelf with glass on it. But I must have struggled with this for 15 minutes, taking it off and reading. Yeah, because if I got this, wait, where did it go? This fairly straight, then the boots were off, or yeah, it just was something.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it's in a nice wooden kind of gray brown frame, and it looks very fallish, which is the next season.
Which is your favorite season?
I actually took my patriotic down yesterday and put my sunflowers up. So my sunflowers are up till fall. So then I finally got my beautiful little angel.
Oh, that's cute in that gold frame. I like that.
Yeah, and she does not have glass because she's got beads and glitter and.
So cute. Now you can put that out. Will you put it out year round or on certain?
No, probably not. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe not in this house. I don't really have a place to keep it up year round, but maybe in my new house I will. I'll take pictures of these so you can put them at the end, since my stuff doesn't always show up very well because my camera, even though I'm right here, but this was a freebie, lavender lace,
I think.
And it is still on their website under freebies. So there's several. I'm actually going to start another angel that I have kitted up from their website that's been up there forever. It's in my July plans, but she matches kind of another one that I did. Actually, the one I'm going to keep saying this, the one I'm going to start next week matches another kind of the same color scheme as the other one I did years ago that does get hung.
Yeah.
But I need to get a new frame for that one. It's an oval. And Hobby Lobby does have gold oval frames. So I think I'm going to be able to reframe her. Hopefully it's the right size.
Are you going to reframe her? Is that oval one broken? The one of your other one?
Yeah, it doesn't, the sticky board doesn't stay in it. It was a frame that has little pins that stick in, and those pins have all fallen out. So it's like taped across the back every year. And it's like, geez, reframe. But all I had left to do on her this last year was some beading here and a little bit of beading here, and she was done.
Yeah.
Because this is all.
Those pretty grays look so pretty.
Yeah. So anyway, I felt really happy about getting that frame. That's a long time coming. I don't even remember what year this one was, but
I don't know. I'd have to look it up.
If you look at it, and if you do look it up
down below in the, if you're interested, I think all the freebies are all together. So we looked at it before. I'll link it again.
And I probably stitched it the year it came out because it was one that I was given by my needlework store. She always had little photocopied copies of them because they were given to stores to give away. So anyway, those are my three kind of cheater finishes, but
they're not cheater finishes. They're just framed, but
they are.
That means they're ready to display. So they're not cheater finishes.
So I have things
like that, or else people who are framing stuff are going to think that they're just cheating if they just frame stuff.
I have things of winter, things of fall, things of summer is sitting out already framed. So I just have to stitch things of spring, which I started, but not very far.
But are you guys sharing stuff or no? Hello? I keep telling them. I mean, you've heard me say it.
And they're right there, aren't they?
Out to have it. Yeah, Rosie, are you sharing anything? I don't know what they're doing. No, okay. I guess we're not giving away the pot holders this week too.
Liddy, you know where the pot holders are?
No, we're not doing that now. You guys would have needed to have them ready before. We'll just hold off and give those next week. Great stuff to show. Hi, Millie. What'd you do yesterday?
Kayak.
Were you scared?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You were scared before, but not scared during.
You look very sun-kissed. You look like you're a summer girl. Your freckles are out, your cheeks are rosy, your shoulders are kind of rosy. You look like you've been enjoying.
Bright pink. Your legs are bright pink.
Are they? Yeah. Yeah, my little redheads fly a little bit, don't they?
Well, you have to come over here and show it. Lift your legs. Yeah, she's got a nice little tan line.
Oh yeah, because of the. Oh yeah.
A little sunburned. Oh well, that's okay. And she cut her finger this week, but you've still been able to stitch just fine. I only said that because your Band-Aid is bright blue.
Yeah, it kind of shows.
So it's kind of obvious. Okay. Okay. We've been working on.
Oh, we got to finish.
We have a finish. Now we have to decide how you want to edit it.
Yeah, so cute.
I'm gonna make it into a little pillow.
You want to make it into a little pillow. Yes. Cool. That'll be cute. It's really cute.
Super cute. That was a fast one for you.
Yep.
Did you start anything else?
Not yet.
I
She just finished it
today.
just on the way home.
Or did you? Oh, you didn't do a lot of stitching this week then, because you were pretty close to finishing it last week.
Yeah, that's because I've been really tired this week. So it's really
You
tired.
what?
I've been really tired this weekend. We've been going to bed later today. It's not reading as
Oh.
Yeah, that's true. We've been dealing with the cow in the evening, so our read aloud time has just been a little short this week. So there hasn't been as much stitching time during read aloud. Just doing it a
Well,
little
good
bit.
job. Good job.
Yeah, that was cute.
And we know you have lots of things planned, so no shortage.
Oh, you did start the boots one. You showed it last week with the flowers coming
That's
on.
true.
And then she went back to the owl because she got the orange this week. Cute.
Did you just pick one out of your stash?
Yeah. Yeah. What did you pick? I guessed it too. I feel like she showed it to me and I said, oh, I like that color. Is that 921? And she said, yeah. And I was like, ooh, yeah, look at me. I figured out.
Look at you. We know our DMC colors.
I knew my DMC. I don't know how I knew it. Just kind of like, I was just like, oh, I bet that's 921. So I have a million orange. I mean, I have a ton of different oranges.
Yeah.
But
That Barbara Anna Four Seasons girl, it comes with floss, but it's DMC, but they don't tell you what DMC it is because they don't want people to make copies and then I guess give it away. I don't know. So I'm like I'm using every little, because I don't know how much. I kind of look ahead and I know autumn's not going to have any blues on it.
but you're
And
feeling like if you were out, you won't necessarily know which.
yeah, but I kind of look at the colors thinking, oh, I think this is 3371, or I kind of thought I could take this into
You would be
Threadneedle
able
and
to find it probably.
she'd be able to help me figure it out. But because I thought, well, if you wanted the pattern, I would give it to you, or the girls if they wanted it, and with whatever leftover flosses I have, but they'd have to probably get more.
Yeah. So it's
But the nice thing is, like, the greens are only on spring and summer. There's not really any green fall. You know what I mean? So that made it a little easier.
yeah, right.
Yeah. What
Well,
you got going?
let's see. I can show my whips here. I've
Oh,
got,
we had a feature friend.
oh yeah, that's right. I had put it on there, and then you ended up with finishes, so I got confused. So I have a couple, but this week we're going to do one, and then next week we already have somebody that sent in another one, but I don't for the next week. So if you're new watching us, we like to feature other people's stitching as well, if they'll let us. And so if you would like to email in something you finished or something you're working on, you can email it to us at our email address. It's down below at stitchingstuff@gmail.com. This week, I have a finish that I'm excited to share because I don't think she's ever sent a finish picture in, but I know she's watched us for a long time and she joins us on our Zoom calls. This is Teresa Chuckle. I hope I'm saying that right. I know that she said once how to say it, and I think it's correct. I always go back. Correct me, Teresa, if I have it wrong, please, and then I'll remember forever.
Yeah.
So I'll just put the picture right here, and this is by the designer Autumn Lane, and it's Baba Yaga. I'll put it right here. Teresa says, congrats on 100 episodes and many more. She doesn't usually share her finishes. She doesn't feel like she's that good of a stitcher, which I think is preposterous because that is beautiful stitching.
Yes.
So thank you. And she coffee tea dyed her own fabric. And she says she stitches in hand, which, I do a lot too. I think that is incredible stitching and a huge project.
It is. And you know how we were talking about Sarah knew her DMC? She showed that to me and I said, is that Autumn Lane?
Yeah.
He goes, yes, it is. I thought there's something about their patterns that just have a distinct look about them.
Yeah, they have some really cool patterns. This one, I think that is just gorgeous. It looks straight out of a fairy tale. So thank you, Teresa, for sharing that. I've never stitched anything by Autumn Lane, but now I'm kind of tempted.
What's the pattern called again? Just Baba Yaga?
Baba Yaga, that's what she said it's called. And it's on 14 count Ada, which I would probably enjoy stitching an Autumn Lane on a 14 count Ada. That's okay. So thanks for sending that in, and send us more, Teresa. I want to see what else you've stitched, because you're a great stitcher.
Yes. You need to not be shy. You can do it.
Yeah.
There's no cross stitch police, by the way.
I know, which I thought was really funny. So remember when I taught that cross stitching workshop at my retreat in May?
Yeah.
There was a gal who had aunties that taught her how to cross stitch a long, long time ago, but she never really wanted to keep stitching after that because she felt like, it was hard for her to start over again. And she felt like she was doing it all wrong. And she was hearing like the cross stitch police in her ears because her aunties had told her, there were just the right way to do it. And so my mantra the whole time was like, you can do it this way, but if you don't, it's okay because there's no cross stitch police, but this is how I do it. But if you want to do it a different way, it's totally fine because it's just whatever. But here's how I would do it if I were, And so she was like, she would start to get kind of caught up in like, well, am I doing it the right way? And I was like, remember, there's no cross stitch police. And she'd be like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. I'm just hearing my aunt's voice again.
Actually, there are some cross stitch police. They're at the fair.
Well, yeah, I did say that. I mean, there is a right way to do it. If you think you're going to enter something in a fair, there's ways that you would be fetched. But if you're cross stitching for your own pleasure, there are no cross stitch police. So
on my calendar piece, our year calendar piece, on that January square with that snow, I am off like half a stitch, but it just bunched everything up. I look at it and I'm like, I really hate this.
Oh.
But I thought I should rip that part out and try to redo it. And then I thought, do you really hate it? I mean, if you really look at it, do you really see it? So I'll have to reevaluate that at the end of the year. But it just bugs me that I didn't just fix it when I was doing it.
Yeah, like if you had just.
But probably nobody else. I mean, somebody, if a stitcher really looked at it up close, they would see it because it just, and it's white, and white just doesn't look good in the best of times for me half the time. So
yeah, white's so
anyway, but nobody's gonna look at your backs generally or anything like that.
Somebody's sad over there. I don't know. Do you want to come say hi? Tell us why you're sad. I think she wants to make peanut butter cookies. And I said, maybe you need to wait till after I'm done. But I did say, well, go ahead, but I won't be able to help you till I'm done. Anyway, okay. So.
You have to whips. What's your whips?
Okay, I'll go first. Yeah. Okay, so I have several different things that I've been working on. One of them is ripping out and re-putting in the stitches on this, stitching by the C pin cushion. Remember, I was off half a stitch on the border after being so confident that this border was going to be easy. So I ripped out.
Come up before the fall, honey.
Seriously, I wasn't really super prideful about it, though. Let's just say I was just feeling good that I was hopefully going to have I had gotten to like, you can even kind of see the line where the stitching was. I got into here and realized it was a half a stitch off in line. So I ripped it out. I found that it was down here. So I took it all out. Now I'm putting it back in. And I was kind of debating, do I want to keep putting the border in? Or do I want to, I think I'm going to just finish up that thread. And then I'm going to stop and go back and do some of the fun stitching on that. Because now I've stitched the border over 1.5 times. 1.5 times. So, you want to come say hi, sad Sam? Say hi.
What the heck was that?
It was a Snoopy walk or Charlie Brown walk. Who is it? Linus? Who walks like that?
I don't know.
Charlie Brown. Hi. You want to say hello? Why didn't you stitch this week? Because we didn't have a lot of evening stitching time, huh? You didn't just pull it out during the day. You're just bored. Why don't you change clothes and go out in the garden? Okay, let's see. What else did I work on? I worked on some of my magazine monthly goals. So, and I decided to put, that's enough now. I decided to put together a spinner on the, what is it called? Tiny Decisions app, because I just felt like I just wanted something to tell me what I'm going to work on each day. And I actually ended up buying the app, paying for the app so I could weight how heavy, like if I wanted to work on one of the things more than one of the other things, I could make it more heavily weighted, and it would be, anyways.
Oh, okay.
It was like $4 or $3 or something.
Wow.
That's worth it to me. Okay, can you guys not walk around behind me anymore? So I pulled out the bookshelf, which is on my magazine monthly challenge, and I really like this one. It had been a while since I worked on it, so I put in, I think I just got Dickinson in. So I didn't get a lot done on it. I have some more to do on it this month before my goal is hit. But it's nice stitching, and I like it, and it was cute. And that was from Aunt Nancy, which that's why I like stitching on it. Shh. I worked on my Haid. I should pull up the picture because you can't tell what it is when you just look at my stitching. I am working on Tiny Traveler from Heaven and Earth Designs. Sorry, there's still a child tiptoeing around behind me. And it's a painting by Annie Stegg, who I love. Let's see if I rotate it around.
Uh-oh.
Let's see. Come on. Come on. Show me. Okay, we'll do it that way. That's just on my phone. So I'm stitching it using Knit Companion, but I think I want Stitch Pattern Keeper. But I won't get Pattern Keeper until I get a tablet that would be good for working on it. Here I am. You can't even tell what I did. I put in some yellow stitches.
Well, those are new. I don't remember seeing yellow before.
But yeah, oops, I'm pulled out a little bit.
Your daughter.
Is she still poking around back there?
Creeping around that she was peeking around behind the post. And
hi.
Bye, Rosie.
There. Okay, yeah, see yellow. I'm working on the leaves in the top left corner. That's where I started.
Okay.
You know, it's not a fast, that's a marathon piece. It's a ultra marathon piece.
By the way, if you follow Tina Stitches and you see her social media, that she's hopefully going to finish that Hey Beloved, which is beautiful today, maybe today. We're all pulling for her.
We're all voting for it. We're all
working on that since I think she said 2016. So
yeah, she's plowing through those last pages.
She is. She's motivated.
I worked on Garden Fresh. Did a lot of word stitching this week now, or like lettering, because I don't usually do a lot of lettering, but I did an O this week on my from the garden. I did work a lot in my garden this week, though.
Did you? That cuts into stitch.
It does cut in a little bit, but I planted. I like Brussels sprouts, so I planted a bunch of Brussels sprouts, and they didn't even sprout, which made me mad. So
the loss for humankind.
Loss for our family. We like Brussels sprouts. We like them roasted with Parmesan cheese.
Oh, they smell so bad. They just smell so bad.
Tastes so good. So I ended up just taking the hoe and digging up that whole area, put weed fabric down until I figured out what I wanted to do.
Have you grown them before?
No, I've never had very good luck with any of the brassica family. Cabbage and my friend down the driveway has great cabbage, and I've tried planting cabbage and gotten nowhere. I think I got I think I got 4 little Brussels sprout starts for sale. I'm not sure they're Brussels sprouts because there was no tag in it, but they are definitely a cabbage type. And they're tall and gangly. They could be broccoli. No, they're not broccoli. They wouldn't be so gangly. I think they're Brussels sprouts. They didn't have a tag, but I thought I'll just buy these and put them in and see what these are. They were marked down at the farm store. And then I got, I don't usually like eggplant, but Jessie likes eggplant. So I got some eggplant. I figured I'll put it in my yard sauce. That'd be great.
You live in dangerously. It's like if you're bored, go into your pantry and take all the labels off your canned goods. And then when you go to cook each night, just open a few cans and try to make something. Okay, so literally, I have a friend who went, they went on the mission field. They were going to Cameroon, Africa. This was like 40 years ago almost. And they had to do language school. They had to learn French. And they went to not France, somewhere else for language training. and they had like they had a tutor that came in and helped tutor them, but they also had all these classes they had to go to. And of course, their canned goods didn't have pictures of what they were. So if you didn't know, so literally she talked about that. She would just open a few cans and
something was
try to make some dinner out of it. Yes.
That's hilarious.
I said, well, that would have been my first language lesson. What are the vegetables on these
Burn
cans?
the foods. I worked on Spring at Hawk Run Hollow. This pattern is given to me by Carolyn Zook because I love it so much. And that was so kind of her. I'm working on that brick design. I'm working on the bricks.
I remember her having struggle with that brick.
Well, I don't think I'm struggling too much. I feel like it's fairly straightforward because, you know, they're just like square. It just is tedious. I ended up deciding to just leave them attached and carry them across the back. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Just carry.
Because they're not going very far, are they?
No, they're usually just a couple. I need to zigzag the top, the edges of my fabric. But yeah, you can kind of see what I'm doing here. There we go. I just pull them across the bottom. That's what I just started doing because I realized there's just a few, and normally I don't do that. Normally I stop and start, but I felt like
that would be too tedious on that brickwork. Oh my gosh.
Stopping and starting and stopping and starting. So this way I can just carry them across.
The only way that would be worth it is if you had needles just threaded ready to go for each color.
Yeah, which I could do. I've got needle, although I lost.
I mean, if it really mattered to you that you.
Right. I really love this piece. I kind of like it when this one gets called. And then I have two more things. I worked on a lot of different things this week. That's what happens when you spin. Keeps me honest. I worked on, my focus piece for this month on the Magazine Monthly Challenge is, what's the word?
Public spirit.
Public spirit. Well, I kind of doing patriotic here. The Lindy Stitches, Stitch for
patriotic counts.
So last week I said I don't think I had started it again. Oh, had I done anything or did I just buy this?
Yeah, you had. Yeah, you showed me the star you were filling in.
Okay, well here it is. I think I just sent you a picture. I thought I got this week.
Maybe you
did. I got new fabric. If I didn't start it this week, I can't remember for sure. I got new fabric. I ended up getting a 32 count Murano at Hobby Lobby. It's just the colorway Ice. So it's kind of a gray.
So unfold your piece of fabric and show me the shape of your fabric.
It's long and skinny. Is this what you
got? Okay. Because I bought the same stuff and I thought this is the weirdest piece of fabric.
I thought so too. It is a weird, like it's not, it's really long and really narrow. It would be good for band sampler.
Yeah.
I think it'll be fine for this. The amount of stitches.
It will be. It just surprised me. Yeah, it just surprised me.
So here's my, this is way better than that last janky fabric I was using.
You should show that.
I should. It's over in the living room. Next time I'll pull it out with it. It was that, yeah, that was just going to be a pain to work on. So I worked on that. I got all of that, I think, done this week. And I think I only have a half hour to go on my goal, but I think I'll keep working on that one, even after I meet my goal. So for Christmas in July, I realized last night after we kayaked, after we got home, we went out and dealt with the cow, which I can talk about more in a little bit. And then I came in and I was like, oh, it's Christmas in July and I hadn't done anything on Friday. So I have quite a bit left to do on this. I probably could finish this in the amount of time I have left to do. I wanted to work on this weekend. What's it called again? Christmas Helpers by Carolyn Selden. I don't know if Swallick Stitchery, I think. Swallick Stitchery.
Huh.
This was in the Just Cross Stitch magazine. And so I'm filling in the cow. I changed the colors. This is, I think, what color is it? I am using a fancy floss. This is German chocolate. The cow in the picture is gray, but I just picked from my stash. I'm filling in the cow. There's not really like all that much stitching on this. I could get it done pretty quickly if I really wanted.
Probably more than you think.
Well, the cow is a lot. The sheep is a lot of white. But even then, I mean, that's still only probably 100 stitches or something.
Yeah, it just adds up.
100. It's probably like 120 or 130 stitches. Yeah, it does add up when you go. I ended up I started it on this teeny weeny little thing because I knew it was just going to be a little ornament. I think I'll probably, or I might do a little small pillow or something. For Christmas. That's all I worked on. Well, I could show my knitting. Not very exciting.
What are you working on?
Working on this thing for a baby who's probably not going to fit anymore.
Oh, you still, I forgot about that. Well,
Really,
Cassidy, I'm sorry, Cassidy. I know you're watching. I kind of pooped out on that sweater for Junie, but she will get a sweater from me.
So once I've decided, okay, so this cute baby is at church. He is a large baby for his size. You know, some babies are just like large. This is a large baby.
Yeah.
So part of the reason I was starting to fizzle out was I was like looking at him, I was like, when he turns 1 this fall, which now is like, it's going to be 1 this fall. This is how slow I've been going. When he turns 1, it's not going to fit because he's just big. So I decided I was going to add a little leg. Like the whole leg for this little thing for a 12-month was only supposed to be like from here to here.
I got a better idea. Why don't you just knit the kid a hat and make that baby Gatz's outfit?
It's kind of tempting. Once I join the legs, I think it'll go fast because I'll just be around knitting. But I also was worried about running out of yarn. I don't know. I just not feeling the love for this project. So I'm making myself work on it a little at a time. So I can
Okay. Okay. Well, I had quite a week, let me tell you. Oh, I started off, huh?
What was your week?
Oh, just stitching. I worked on
Like
more than
quite
I
a lot?
have. Yeah, more than I have been. Not tons on each one, but I feel like I touched a little bit more than I have been. So, and I just barely touched this morning, but I'm going to work on her some more. She was part of my magazine monthly. She's my redhead girl.
Oh yeah, you said you were going to work on her.
And I'm off a stitch. I cannot figure out where. I'm looking at it and counting. So it's this pattern, in case you don't know. It's called I Give You My Heart. She's crazy redhead. And I dyed this fabric a long time ago. I started this, I think, in 2020.
I think so.
Your girls making squeaky sounds?
No.
Anyway, so I basically have done this collar and then
That
this
hat
little
just
pink
cracks
one.
me up. I think that's what cracks me up about that piece is that hat.
The hat, yeah.
Why is she wearing that hat?
I don't know. Why is Barbara Anna's people in her pictures doing any of the stuff that they're doing? They're just quirky. They're just whimsical. So anyway, that's going to get some more love today. I'm supposed to do 3 hours of that this month. This month. And then I'm just taking these out in no particular order. So this I worked on. I'm going to be super impressed. I am working on a Stitch for Sweet Freedom too, and I worked on this already 2 hours.
Wow, that was 2 hours of stitching.
Because this is my 3rd attempt. So Sarah had brought hers out the other day and was talking about how she didn't like the fabric she was working on. And I thought, oh, that's too bad. That's sad when that happens. So I got mine out that I had started. I mean, literally, we started these in 2020 on 4th of July. I didn't work on this at all last year. And this is how far I got, 2 little spools. Okay. So I pulled it out and I was working on the little round thing there. And I realized I hate this fabric. I hate it. It is it's a 22 count. So I was doing it over 1, but it's splitty, like the thread split. And so finding the holes, I'm like redoing half my stitches because I split it. And I thought, this is not working for me. So I thought, okay, I'll look at my stash. I've got plenty of fabric in my stash. So I put this aside the other day and I pulled out this fabric that I've had forever. I don't even know where. It's by MCG Textiles. Probably bought it at like a fabric store years ago, if you recognize this label. and it is a count natural linen. Oh, great. It's kind of got that natural. I kind of was going for that rustic look, you know.
Excuse me.
Hate it. So again, I stitched those two things, which don't look like much, but you know, in cross stitch world, and this fabric is horrible. It is horrible. It's not an even weave, so it's uneven. So that's a strike. And then it's fuzzy. It's got like fuzzes in it.
Weird.
So it's just, I thought, this isn't going to happen. This is not going to happen on this fabric. I will never finish this. So when I went to Hobby Lobby the other day, I bought the same fabric that Sarah did on this wonky, skinny piece of fabric.
Yeah.
But the color's not showing up. It's called ice, and it is a beautiful grayish color, gray kind of color. And I think oh brother, here we go. My camera's not. See my wrinkly up. Come on. Anyway. Is it focusing?
On your fabric. Yes. There you go.
Here I am. Anyway, I do like it on this fabric. I think it's going to be beautiful on this fabric. I also need to kind of figure out my threads, because when I bought the stuff to start this in 2020, there was a heck of a lot harder time getting specialty flosses. And I have a couple different reds in here that I already had, but they're not the called for, and I might just stick with them. But Candy did say that she felt that when she finished, Candy from the 614 Stitcher just finished this, she felt like the I think it's Weeks Sky was really close, like she hardly had enough to finish. So I was gonna pick one up when I was at Thread Needle on Friday. It's back ordered, so I'm not going to be at her dress anytime soon, so I've got time to worry about that blue, I think.
Yeah.
So I did work on that quite a bit. You just can't tell. And then I worked on, let me see. Yeah, okay. I worked on my calendar piece, our year. So last week I showed that I had finished June. And now I'm on the next row down because we're halfway through the year.
Can't believe it. Oh.
And I started the bees skip or the beehive or whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I did all that. I did the border and I did all that in there. So I worked quite a bit on this.
There's a lot on that.
It is a lot. It's got, now I basically have the word July and a bunch of bees and stuff, I think is all that's left. But I was going to try to finish it the other night. But then I thought, no, you've got the whole month to finish that. You've got a good start. So that got but that did get quite a bit of love. I had to rip that beehive out a little bit. I made a mistake on one part and had to rip some. No, it wasn't. So then for my Christmas in July, I worked on 2 different Christmas pieces. One of them I had to do the threads for because it's a shepherd's bush. That was fun. You know how much I love that. And the 3 greens, I'm like, they look so close. I couldn't even hardly tell what those greens were. But it's called All Is Calm, and it is, I'm not gonna be able to see it, but
Yeah, I can see it.
you see it.
I like that one. That is cute.
And I just did so there's a little bordery thing, and it's on a very small, I think it's 36 count. Pretty sure this is 36 count. 32 count, but it feels like a 36 to me. So I did, this is the beginning of a star. Is it a star? What's this? Yeah, it's not a Quaker star, but you know, I don't know what you call those kind of stars. So I got a good amount of time put into this. You can't see some of the colors, they're very faint. There's like some little leaves there that are, anyway, that got some start. This was a gift from Aunt Nancy for my birthday last year. So thank you, Aunt Nancy. I'm starting it. And then for some reason, I was supposed to work on my my Hearts and Pines by Barbara Bourgeau Richards, and I didn't pull it out. I got sidetracked by a different Christmas in July piece I was going to work on in week 3, and it's Pineberry Lane's I bring the Joy, which is very rustic. And I realized that it really kind of frustrates me when designers pick such very specific fabrics that you can't always find. And trying to find a substitute for this with these colors was really hard. You wouldn't think it'd be that hard, but I would either find one that the grays were not going to show up very well, but the creamy, you can't see it, but the creamy white would show up, or vice versa. And there's a lot of white on there. And so I picked an anchor off white thinking it was going to work. So it stayed in the same color palette as the other colors. It did not work on this fabric. This is the fabric I got. So I went ahead and just pulled out. I had bought Classic Colorworks Snowball, which is what I've been using on my 4th of July pieces. And I decided to just do it, even though it's a little more stark. I'd rather have it be more stark than not show up.
I like it, actually. I kind of like that it pops.
Yeah, I actually did like it. I think I was worried it wasn't gonna
Like it
melt, but anyway, so I did all of that.
Wow, you did a lot. You did a whole house almost.
This is one of those dumb little borders that I just hate. What?
The dumb little board.
It's the kind that, you know, it's like a little banner. Like there's 5 stitches and then 3 below it and then 1. And then 5 stitches and then 3 below it. I don't know. They're just a pain in the butt to stitch to me.
Dumb.
Sorry, Pine Berry Lane. I'm sure you're not watching me, so you're not going to even hear me say that. But I mean, I like the finished product of it.
Yeah.
But I just hate stitching them.
Why don't you just stitch them diagonally?
Diagonally?
Like,
What do you mean?
do you hate it because you like do 5, 3, 1, and then you have to go back to the top? Why don't you just go diagonal?
What do you mean?
Are you stitching it full cross?
Yeah.
So you would start on the top left, let's say, of that banner, and you would do the top left stitch, and then you would do the left stitch of the bottom, the second one, and then the very bottom one, and then you could go up and you could go down. And
I could do that, except for I really don't like stitching up.
But you wouldn't be
on
stitching
linen.
up, you would be stitching diagonally up.
Yeah, but
It's way easier. Well, it's easier if you stitch in hand, so maybe it's not easier on it.
I mean, it's not, it's just, I'm not a very, diagonal stitching doesn't ever feel natural to me.
Oh, okay. That's probably how I would.
I'm up, down, or across, but diagonal does not happen very often. I think I'm geometrically challenged. I just don't even think, oh, I should do that diagonally. No,
I see.
I'm stitching 5. Let's see, what am I doing? I'm stitching 2. I don't know what I'm doing. I was stitching 2, going down and doing 1. I kind of am doing it diagonally, actually, now that I think about it.
You're just telling how you never do diagonal stitching.
Well, how was I doing it? I was doing 3. I don't know. I was kind of jumping around.
Well, that works too.
But I did part of the border. I decided to start with it, and I'll just keep going with it.
Good job.
And then the last thing I worked on was my 4 Seasons, the Vivaldi 4 Seasons girl, and I got my summer square done.
Yay.
And she is magnificent.
Oh, she is pretty.
Again, that dress, that skirt, no joke.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's really cute.
And this is no joke. There's a lot of
Yeah, I'd actually
happening.
probably rather do the skirt than all that that flower.
Yeah, and then I realized I had to come over here because they all have stuff hanging down here, and then like I think these are like little tiki lanterns.
Oh, cute. It's really cute though.
Spring Girl has little like Japanese lanterns, I think.
Uh-huh. A little key.
So here we are, the whole piece so far.
It's cute. They both have keys too.
Yeah, they all have a key.
Cute.
Anyway, so now I'm going to start on fall.
Yay.
My favorite one of fall.
My favorite one.
Yeah, so that felt good because I really wanted to keep up with this, and I had finished spring way before spring was done, and I really wanted to get summer done before spring started. That didn't work out right. I started spring in the winter so that it would be done by spring. And then I started summer in spring, so that'd be done by summer. But my trip and everything, I think, just kind of pushed it aside.
Yeah.
So I'm still on target. I can still do this. I think that's everything I stitched.
Cute.
Yeah, I'm looking at my stuff. Yeah, that's it. And then I have.
What haul do you have? I don't really have any haul except for that fabric, I think, that I already
well, I got my cotton and twine historical sampler collection kit. This is a cute one. I liked last month's, but this one I really like. So it came with, first of all, this adorable little zipper, like reusable. It's made out of like recycled fabric.
Oh, uh-huh.
It's like a little bag.
That's cute.
That cute. And then it came with some sour watermelons
Yep.
and an Earl Grey tea. And this is the pattern.
Oh, cute.
And it comes with the frame.
That's pretty.
Like it had the frame and all the flosses and the fabric.
My goodness.
Flosses. Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, that's pretty.
Yeah. So that came. That was a night. I'm just gonna tell you guys, I had a rough week at work. It was just, I haven't had a week like that in a long time, and I was ready to tear my hair out because when you know there's an IT problem, when you tell your IT team there's a problem and they don't believe you, it's really, really irritating.
Yeah.
And also because of the problem we were having, it brings my workflow to a stop.
Mm-hmm.
But people piling on work on me aren't stopping. So it's super, super stressful. And I'm trying to be positive about tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure that the temporary fix they did is really working 100% either. So anyway, we'll see. So I did some retail therapy and I bought this. And I don't, there's a few things in here that I probably would stitch. There's a lot of bigger things in here. Like your
My Halloween.
yeah, like there's this big sugar skull.
Mm-hmm.
And then what else? Yeah, there was just a lot more bigger things than smaller, or of course now I'm looking and all I see are smaller ornaments. I mean, like even this, this bat.
Yeah, that's a lot of
and it's like, yeah, trying to see if there's this Raven Moon one.
Oh, that's pretty. Wow.
Pretty, but I don't like Halloween enough that I'm going to do big. Although this I kind of liked, and I could see maybe someday doing this, maybe.
Oh, that's cute.
It's just the cute Halloween words.
I like that. That's cute.
Yeah, that I liked. That was called Ghost Story Samplers, and I could see doing that. And it just uses DMC. Oh, it uses some variegated DMCs.
Oh, fun. I kind of like working.
Yeah. I have a couple other that are kind of in those color schemes out of my World of Cross Stitch magazines that you subscribe me to that I really like that I would probably do first. But there's some little pillows and little ornaments. This is kind of cute. Like if I had still small kids at home, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
So anyway, I like to buy these and have them because there are some cute little things in here, and I also want to keep them in business.
Yeah.
So many of the magazines have gone, by the wayside.
Yeah.
My other haul is yarn. I did not get the $1.30 yarn, but I did get it 30% off at Hobby Lobby. They were out of the on sale stuff. So this is going to be a little Milo vest for baby boy Gats. And that's a Tiki Georgie Hallam. She's changed her name multiple times. Is it Georgie Nicholson now? Georgie Nicholson, I think.
Yeah.
If you look up Tiki knits, you'll find it. Anyway, it's an adorable little vest that has cable pattern that you can have a cable pattern that runs down one side of it, like a little band, or you can do it plain. And I made lots of these for the girls, your girls, when they were little, because they were nice little, to wear a little shirt underneath them. So that I bought. I bought this pattern.
Come here and show that. Come here and show that. Show us what you were just doing. Are you going to show it or not?
No.
Oh, she had a pretzel stuck up her nose.
Oh,
Real-
this is a pattern by Isaiah Gladstone. New York Dreamer Needleworks. It's a tart. It's a pin cushion tart pan.
So cute.
I'm sorry, but those ladybugs and cherries together were just like too
Yeah.
much for me to handle.
Be a
And I
cute.
actually,
Biscornu.
I know. I actually bought a tart pan. I think it's the right size when I went to Hobby Lobby at my next stop.
Fun.
So
I've never
maybe
done one.
I haven't either. So that was that. That wouldn't take long to stitch. And then I think the last thing that was my I ordered my Valdani threads
Oh,
for
yeah.
my
This is my favorite of your haul.
huh.
This is my favorite thing of your haul.
So
Although
I
that
had bought
kit, that box is really fun too.
the summer Quakers. I had fabric. I did a little bit of a dilemma because I don't have any of the truffle that it calls for. And the picture in this looks a little bit lavenderish, but Aunt Nancy helped me find a 28 count rose quartz, which is a little bit rosier. That's the word I can think of. Okay. And so when my threads came, I was laying them out to see how they would look on this. And there's one colorway that I'm thinking might not show up very well, but if it's in other designs, it might pop.
Mm-hmm.
There's my little box of Valdanis. They're all messy because I was unraveling some to hold them up to the fabrics.
Which one is the one you think might not fit?
This one actually has a lavender thread running through it. You can't see it very well.
No, but I think you should just do it anyway.
Well, I'm gonna
I
because
love that fabric you have.
I do too. And I had already previously bought this blue, but the problem with the blue is it's a 32 count. And then they've got to deal with, I'm not going to use all 3 threads. So then I've got to separate Valdanis, and I'm doing that for Sunflower Fairy, and I'm doing it for my Winter Quaker, but I want to try it with all 3 threads on a 28 count. So this one really wasn't going to work. I think it would be really pretty on this blue, which is why I bought the blue originally, because I couldn't find truffle, because for a while you couldn't find truffle, but I found some on 1, 2, 3 Stitch. Super expensive to get the piece big enough. So anyway, I'm gonna start it with this, and hopefully it'll all show up.
I think you should. And I think you should just stick with it, even if it looks like it might not show up. And then later you'll be like, oh, that worked out just fine. That's what I think. That's my opinion.
Okay, so I have to share my little drama with this threads. So these are not cheap. And I ordered them and I got shipping notifications, okay, that they were on their way. Now, we have had an ongoing mail issue since we bought this house 28 years ago. Our house number is one off from a house across the street from us. And when we get people that aren't our regular mail carrier, or when we get a new one that hasn't been broken in yet, we have all kinds of misdelivered mail. And so the previous owners, this house is a tiny little house. So there's been several owners. There was one family that stayed in there for a long time, and then they moved right during COVID, and another couple moved in, and they hardly ever checked their mail. Like I'd have to go over there and say, hey, I think I've got a package. And then they'd have to walk down and check their mail, and big brouhaha. So they're gone, and now there's new couples in there. And they don't have kids. They're probably, I don't know if they're younger or older. I've only met them once and I can't remember what they even look like. But anyway, so about 2 weeks ago, I had ordered something on Amazon that I was told had been delivered. And I even got the, delivery confirmation text and everything. I go to my mailbox, there's no key for the parcel locker. And I'm like, I bet they put it in those people's mailbox, or somebody's. It could have been somebody else could have gotten the key. And I was so frustrated. Well, the next day I actually caught the mail person out there and I said, hey, can you look in those boxes and see if my package is still there? Sure enough, it was. They gave it to me. So now it's this week. I'm knowing that my Valdanis have shipped. They should be, and I get a notification. We'll be here by 9 p.m. Okay. So I go check the mail and they're not in there, but there's mail in the mailbox. And I'm like, and it didn't say they had been delivered yet. I didn't get the text that says they're delivered. I thought, well, they might have forgotten to scan it. So I'm like, and I got some of their mail, right? So I'm like, oh gosh. So I go walking down there with their mail. They're not home. And there's also a realtor lockbox on their door. And I'm like, they just moved in here like 3-4 months ago. Why are they moving again? Have they moved out? So I'm looking in the window to see if there's like signs of life because nobody's answering. Well, there's stuff there. I thought, okay, they haven't moved, but nobody's home. And I thought I'll have to try again later. So I came home and literally like 5 minutes later, what was it, Sarah? 6 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
I was on the phone with Sarah.
I looked at I was like,
yeah, my phone dings and it's been delivered. And I'm like, did the scan just come through and it's in somebody else? And I happened to walk outside and there was the mailman. And I'm like, okay, surely they didn't come to a separate run with my little package. Yeah. Well, it turns out that the mail I had in my hand, it was from probably the day before. I thought I had checked the mail and they put my package in the right box.
There it was. And it was all fine.
I said some not very nice things about the mail carrier to Sarah on the phone.
Sorry, my dog is behind me. So one of the reasons we didn't go camping this week is because our big dog, let's see if I can just put him in the frame.
Is he in the house today?
Well, yeah, he comes in and out. Here, let's see. Getting in. Okay, there he is.
Oh, there's his face.
Well, he had been licking and licking and licking at his front paws last week till they were raw. And I called the vet, and as soon as they could really get him in was this, like Thursday. So like 2 or 3 days, 3 days ago. What is it, Sunday? So yeah, Thursday. Anyways, I said, okay, we'll take it. I like our vet. They're just up the road. They've seen him before for other things. So we brought him in, and it's a younger gal working alongside an older vet who maybe he's getting ready to retire or something. She said, I think I have a feeling what it is that he has cheat grass. So we have this terrible grass here that if it grows long out, along the side of the road or at the edge of the driveway, it has these seeds that catch in your clothes, in your socks, in your fur. And she said, I think that he's got some that's worked its way up between his toes into the skin, and he's probably trying to get those out. She said, I've actually seen that a lot this year, more than normal. We have had a wetter year and a cooler year overall than we have had the last several years. So she was like, I think I'll have to sedate him and then remove those and then clean out all the wound. And by this time it was 3 paws because he had started licking on his back paw at that point. So we were relieved though, because we were kind of getting ready for it to be like bad news about arthritis and he would be really dished. So we were kind of like, oh, is that all? So she did it that same day. We left him there. We got him again later, and she got him all out. So he's behind me. It's okay for him to have the bandages off. So Jesse was just trying to get the bandages off in the other room. I don't know if you could hear him kind of growl at him, but he was kind of growling about it. Now he's behind me, taking the rest that Jesse couldn't quite get all the way off. And
okay.
Okay, I think it's okay that he's licking him, but we decided not to camp this weekend because we didn't want to just leave him here.
How many pieces do you think she had to pull out?
I don't know. Jesse didn't even really talk to the vet after, like when he picked him up, they just said, here he is.
But Opal didn't have any, huh? Opal didn't get any.
I think Opal's hair is shorter, so I don't think it catches those burrs as much. So yeah, she doesn't have anything worked up, I don't think, in her toes.
So now what do you do to keep him from having it happen again?
Well, we'll just watch closely in case he starts. It'll be kind of tricky the next few days. Because right now his paws are still raw from before. But if I start to see it, then we can maybe pull them out before they work all the way, as deep, just like a sliver. So anyways, that's why I keep looking behind me, because I was kind of trying to look at his leg and see his foot and see how it looked. So anyways, there was that. But we don't have a giveaway from last week. We didn't do one, but we do this week have 2 to make up for it. So one of them is a pass the stash. I'll go first.
Okay, yeah.
So I remember I just finished this bulb, this shepherd's bush bulb, and I will pass this on to anybody who might want it. It's just a little pamphlet. So it's just, and it calls for weeks and gentle arts, but it has all the DMC
Conversion.
components. And it doesn't have the buttons. In fact, I need to figure out what I want to do. I probably will add a couple of buttons on. See, there's like a flower at the top there that I don't currently have. So I'll probably just pick up a couple buttons, or maybe I'll order something. But anyways, I'll pass this stash on to anybody who wants it. So we'll just treat it like a regular giveaway. If you use the word bulb, just use the word bulb in your comment, and then I'll.
You should go to Just Another Button Company on Etsy.
Yeah, I think that the buttons are listed here. I could.
Or you could get them off the Shepherd's Bush.
Yeah, they are from Just Another Button, so I could
they?
probably find them on there.
Yeah.
So bulb for that one. And then,
And then I picked up Summer House Stitchworks Fragments in Time, third in the series. This is the summer one, I guess. It's the strawberry one, which is super cute. And I thought it was appropriate because my strawberries are ripening in the pots that I have. So I've been eating fresh strawberries when I go water. So just use the word strawberry.
Okay.
Yeah. Super, super cute. It's got weeks or DMC. Take your pick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or pull from your own stash and do your own colors.
Or do your own colors.
Remember, there's no cross stitch police.
Except for I hate doing that because I'm so bad at it. Yeah, that is.
What you reading?
I'm still reading my
Darling Girl.
Daring Girls of Guernsey.
Daring Girls of Guernsey.
Kind of hit a little slow spot. You know how stories take off, you build. Well, and also I've been staying up late stitching, and so I haven't had much reading time. But yeah, they're kind of starting to kind of formulate a plan. Kind of spy on the Germans is what they're going to do.
I see.
3 gals, yeah.
They're
all in it. They're all in a very delicate position. One gal is being kind of forced to date one guy, one German. One gal her family has one living with them, 2 living with them in their little house. And then the third one has actually an islander, a guy she grew up with who's back on the island. He left when he became an adult and joined the service, and now he's back as a British spy on the island. So I think the 3 gals are going to try to start, like one gal is very fluent in German, so she's listening. She's a nurse, so she's listening to the conversations more that the Germans are having in German to try to glean some information, and they're going to try to funnel that information back to the British guy that's hiding in the third woman's house. He's kind of in her house. It's kind of interesting. She must live up on a cliff above the water, and down below her is a kind of a cave on the beach that her house actually is right above. And so she can go down into her cellar. She's got like a house with a cellar, and then there's a hatch in the cellar with a big ladder that drops down into this cave. So he kind of comes and goes up through this cave up into her cellar, and then so nobody sees him, kind of thing. So I'm sure it's going to get very intense.
Probably will get stressful before it gets resolved.
Yeah. What are you reading?
Look what I started.
Misery.
I started it. I'm only like this far, so I just started it. It's creepy. But I know I'm gonna like it. I also am nearing the end. I mean, I still have probably a good chunk of pages on Cloud Cuckoo Land. Big reveal just happened before I put it down yesterday when I was reading, and now I can't wait to get back to it. It is super good. If you haven't read it and you're in for, I don't know, 600-700 page book, I'm recommending it. It's good. He is a really good writer. It's by Anthony Dewar, who wrote All the Light.
Yeah, he is good.
So far, it doesn't have, well, I don't know how it's going to end. No, I think it'll probably have some sadness, kind of like that other one. But I don't know if it'll have the same crazy, deep tragedy that I felt like that book kind of dealt with. But we'll see.
Well, that first one was set during World War II. So
yeah.
I don't know if this one is more.
This one is not. No, it's set in multiple time periods. So it's really, really good. Really interesting.
So after you finish Misery, you need to watch the movie.
I know, I do need to watch that. And I didn't realize on Hulu, apparently they've made an 11/22/63 series. Or maybe they made it and it's on Hulu. I can't tell if Hulu made, I haven't gone to find it yet, but I need to watch that too, since that was the first one I read.
Oh, maybe I'll just watch that and not read it.
Yeah. I don't know how it compares to the book, but I kind of want to watch it now.
The actor that plays the main character guy in Misery just died. James Caan just died the other day. James Caan.
He did? Oh.
He just died the other day, yeah.
I didn't know that. Oh, sad.
Yeah.
I know, I do need to watch it. It'll be fun to watch that.
Yeah. It's creepy.
It is. It starts off creepy. It's really dark right from the beginning. So I know I'm gonna.
Oh, and last fall I read a book that was kind of taking a play off of Misery. I talked about it on here. I forget the name of it now. Dad read it too, but it kind of, yeah.
Oh yeah, I kind of remember you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
I remember what it was.
Yeah. So it brought that book back up to my consciousness, I guess. I think I read Misery years ago, and then
you said that that's the only one you've really ever read. So
yeah.
I had just decided probably last year, maybe it was before that even, that I really wanted. It was like an author that I'd never read anything by, and I decided I wanted to kind of work my way through some of his books.
Yeah.
Which I do. I do like reading kind of that creepy, scary. I don't read that much, or I never have, but I'm enjoying it.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see. That's kind of the end. I've got a little update I can give on the cow, because people are saying in the comments they're enjoying hearing about it. So here's the update on my Jubilee. So we, I can't remember where things were last time we recorded, but basically Jessie built a milking stanchion. I think that was like last Saturday, and I was feeling like I might not be able to get her in. I wasn't sure. Well, this week I got a halter on her. We got a halter on her, which then allows us to clip a lead rope to it and lead her, so that if she sort of spooks and decides to go the other way, we can provide, a pull this way and she has to go. So we've been able to get her in the stanchion every night since we got the halter on her. And I got to the store the other day and I got some penicillin. I already had penicillin. I got another thing of it because I wanted to restart around. So we had given her a few shots, but we weren't sure how much risk getting in her before we could get her in the stanchion.
Yeah.
And I knew, so until I could go to the store and get the syringe, because we were out of syringes, and she kept breaking them off in her. I don't remember if I said that, and then the needle I had to remove. Anyways, it was a mess. So we've given her 2 doses of penicillin now. That was stressful. The first night I did it because Jessie didn't want to do it. So I did it and I was exhausted afterwards. It was like it's really hard to inflict pain on my.
You have to go get her and bring her in and everything by yourself too?
Well, together, we do that together.
Oh,
right now.
That part. Yeah.
Yes, but once she's in the stanchion, we've been trying to milk her out. So just like human mastitis, you kind of want to keep it from plugging up. So we're trying to milk her out. One of the quarters of her udder is really quite infected. And I thought last night it looked a little better. Girls are getting patient, I guess. Somehow my schedule is dictated by them, or vice versa. Anyways.
What are they doing?
I don't know. Millie's hanging something over my head. So we've been trying to milk her out as much as we can from the infected sides. And one of the quarters looks better. I would say 2 of them are looking a little better. They're still testing as having mastitis a couple days ago, but we're going to finish out this round of penicillin and pray that she can heal, and then we can begin.
So is this something that you constantly have to check your milk for while she's?
I would think that, there's you can definitely tell that it's in I don't know. Yeah, it's gross. I mean, so one of her quarters currently has some blood in the milk. And one of the other quarters that at first looked kind of rougher had chunky kind of congealed milk in it. I mean, I don't know how much detail you want me to go into. So, I mean, once that's all cleared up, I will probably test her sort of regularly, because I think similarly in humans, once you've had mastitis, you can be kind of prone to developing it again. Yeah,
that's what I was thinking,
I will probably catch it
before it gets to that point that she's.
Yeah. I will probably check her regularly. It's not hard. There's a little card that you just put milk from each quarter on, and it says whether mastitis is present or not. So it's easy to test. So I'll just keep those little strips on hand to test it, and probably check it regularly. But I'm praying that we can get it all cleared up and that we can actually receive some milk from this sweet cow. But she's been doing a really good job. I'm proud of her. She was a little impatient last night. And they're just kind of kicking at us with her.
Rushing.
Like, just kind of picking up her back hoof and kicking at it. So
when you were milking her?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was. I don't really know.
And then the mood. Well, I mean, how old is she?
How old is she? We got her in 2020, and I think she was born probably in 2019.
I mean, she's just grazed and done her own thing for this long. All of a sudden now you're expecting her to go into this small area and be confined, and I'm sure she's less than pleased about it sometimes.
Yeah, probably. So.
Yeah, leave me alone.
Why are you doing this to me? So anyway, that's the update on Jubilee. I'll let you know how it goes next week.
She is sweet little face.
She's so pretty. I know. She is. Yeah, she looks really pretty with the halter on. Like
she does.
Third four or something. I don't know. Like tame. Maybe she just looks more like a tame cow rather than a wild cow.
How's a baby boy? Is he still going to turn into a bull?
So far, but he's not going to. But the girl, so one night we kept her in the stanchion, and I stayed with her and kept her kind of chill and calm. And Jesse and the girls tried to chase him down, and they couldn't do it. So they couldn't catch him. But I think I need to be out there. So I'm not sure how. I don't know what we're going to do. We need to make a plan.
Well, if you put her in the stanchion, can you secure her so that she doesn't get out, or does somebody have to stay with her?
I think we could. I'm like kind of nervous if she got really upset, if she would be able to.
I'm going after her baby, so if she knew that, she might get.
That's why I kept her in there and kept her calm. So I think, we need to just devise a plan.
He doesn't follow her towards the stanchion, huh?
He follows her up by the pen, but doesn't follow her in to the pen area or into the barn.
Oh, you just need to grab him when he's a little closer, maybe before he takes off. Be ready while you're bringing her in.
Maybe, but I think he would take off. He's fast. I don't know. It's a pain. We probably need to just chase him down. But anyway, I'll let you know how that goes. I want to get that taken care of this week.
Yeah, it's a long little battle you've had going on.
Yeah. So, well.
Yeah. You got plans?
Oh, plans. Just finishing, keeping going my magazine monthly. I'll spin each day and do whatever it says to do.
Gail from Gail's Golden Needle and I are planning on starting a P. Buckley Moss stitch along. It's her birthday month. Gail's, not P. Buckley Moss, but Gail's birthday is in August, and so we're thinking of starting it around August 31st. So if you have a P. Buckley Moss pattern you've been wanting to stitch, join us. I think we'll have a hashtag, and there's somebody by the last name of Wingit is, I think, hoping to join us maybe. And Gail talks about in her most recent video that she put up the other day that she had stitched a long time ago, taught her mom how to stitch. And then Gail went to quilting and her mom kept stitching. And then Gail gave her mom all of her cross stitch stuff. And because she was just going to quilt. And then at some point her mom got to the point where she couldn't see very well, and her hands, I think arthritis, she couldn't stitch anymore. So she said to Gail, do you want your stuff back? And she's like, nah. But there was this one pattern she always wanted. And it was the one, I think you've seen it. It's two girls that are quilting together. So it's called, is it called Taking Turns? I think it's called Taking Turns. And she found it on Amazon, like super affordable. Somebody was getting rid of it. And so she's going to change it up. The colors are a little dated. And I have the one, I've got several of hers, but the one I really want to start is one that Nancy Buckley, my friend, gave me years ago. A little girl and a little boy, and they're little, well, I don't know, I mean, they're little young, and they're holding hands and they're walking, and she's got a doll in her free hand, and he's got, I think, a bucket in her. And I don't think I'm gonna have to change the colors up on mine too much. It's mostly just blues, like they're in blues, and it's blues that I like, so I think it's not too dated. But hers has like wallpaper behind the girls, and she says, yeah, I think we're gonna have to change. And she's not maybe it won't do the wallpaper because it doesn't really need to be there.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that would be kind of fun. I've had this pattern for a very long time. Nancy probably gave it to me back when I was still, well, I know she did when I was still stitching, and she had stitched it herself. And at that time, I didn't even really know who P. Buckley Moss was. I didn't know anything about it. So I've had it in my little container. So that's going to happen. And our Stitchy Smalls meetup is still set for the 23rd.
Mm-hmm.
Gail, I might have told you the 21st the other day when I was on the phone with you, but I think you know that it's the 23rd. She and I.
I'll send out an email anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, my plans are just to work on my monthly plans too, although I might sneak in a couple brand new stitches on summer Quakers.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Just to kind of start that one because I've been wanting to for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Sounds good.
yeah, that's about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thanks for joining us this week, and we hope you have a great week. We're thankful for all of you.
Oh, hey, and be careful. Today I woke up this morning with two text messages. One from my daughter-in-law saying that somebody in her family has COVID, not her, but her extended family. And then my good friend who we go out to dinner with every week, her daughter, who's a teacher, has COVID, which is crazy because she made it through the whole school year, multiple times exposed, never got it. And now she's got it. So it's definitely, and if you follow Sambri Stitches, she's been super sick with it. It's Sambri Stitches. So it's definitely still percolating out there. So be safe.
Yeah. Stay healthy.
Yeah, stay healthy. We love you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Happy stitching.